This is Fantasy Banter HQ. Bold takes, sharp analysis, and zero filters.
Just knowing that just throw the ball every time to Brock Bowers, you'd think you'd learn from that. I felt confident after that. I'm like, okay, he knows that's where he needs to go.
And I didn't even check the rankings, but isn't Denver like really good against wide receivers, but not as good against tight ends or something?
No, they were red in the tight ends. I remember that. I can't remember exactly where they're at.
I mean, Denver's good across the board, but there was a couple of, I mean, even on the broadcast, which I painfully watched the whole thing, they were shadowing Brock Bowers, and they showed, hey, a couple of instances, if he would have gone to Brock right away in his route, he would have hit him. But so how is he not his first target? That's what my question is. And then you hit him immediately if he's open.
Yeah.
How are we not in the league? We should be in the league. We would know.
Yeah,
we would know what guys you're supposed to throw the ball to at least.
Yeah, we'll have that down, just not the physical aptitude.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, just throw it to Brock Bowers. It's basic.
It's so easy.
Yeah. Do you remember when Geno Smith got punched in the face by his own lineman and literally had to sit out? That was hilarious.
Of course. Yeah. Wasn't that in New York?
Yes. Does Geno still fit into the category of like New York Jets players, like QBs that the Jets let go that they shouldn't have, or is he back in the territory of I'm not good at football anymore, so who cares?
He's in that gray area. I think he had one season where it looked like he was going to be absolutely something. Now he's just kind of like middle of the pack. They're not hurting about Geno. They got enough else to worry about.
That's true. There's backup QBs in the league that are better than some of the starters. I never understood that.
Oh, yeah.
Like our boy over there in New York.
Oh yeah, and he's third string.
He's third string.
Yeah.
Jameis. And then I mean, we already know that the 49ers have two better QBs than the Saints have one. I'm convinced that Shedeur Sanders is better than both of the Saints QBs as well. It's just
I'm eager to get a good look. You are definitely on board with Shedeur Sanders for sure.
He had one really good preseason game.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I'm going completely off that. And just the fact that he was supposed to get drafted in the first round and fell to like this fifth round or whatever. You know what I mean?
That was interesting to see. Yeah, absolutely.
So we know what day it is today.
Starts and sits.
You know that when in the editing process, I can't seem to get that sound to be the right volume. It's either too quiet or too loud.
Starts and sits.
I think that was probably it. It was like right in between. Right in between.
I heard it both times.
So I will say this too. This can even stay in the podcast. That person that says starts and sits is AI, obviously. But I have like a new AI voice favorite platform, 11 Labs, which is what everyone else uses. I might find a new guy with even better voice to do that moving forward. I might replace both of you guys with the AI at some point, you know, with how many voices I got. But I'm still going to keep your likeness, though. It's still going to look like you guys are here. Like, Shebass is going to be really easy to build an avatar around because his guy is so low quality. Like, it's just like all glitchy looking and shit. It's like, the avatar's going to take like 5 seconds to generate.
Shebass will be like, I know that's not me because it's very clear.
Exactly.
I was watching a game while they were doing that podcast.
Oh my gosh. I created an AI avatar myself just yesterday to see if I could do it. And I sent it to a couple people. And one guy sent it to him and he said, good job. Because he thought it was just a good video. Because I went and I generated a script. And then I generated an avatar. And then I generated my voice. And I put it all together. And it doesn't really look or sound. I mean, it sounds like me, but it doesn't. I mean, it's not perfect like on the mouth and stuff like that. So I thought for sure, like, people are going to laugh at this. I'm going to send it to like 3 people and say nothing. And everyone's just like, oh, dude, sick video. This is getting weird, man. This is getting real weird.
What did you use?
I used HeyGen to create the avatar, and then I used 11 Labs to create the voice, and then I used ChatGPT to create the script. And I just sync HeyGen with 11 Labs, and then I create the script and I put it in there. And then, I mean, once it makes your voice and everything, it takes like 2 seconds to make the video. But making the voice took like 4 hours. Because I had to upload hours of your voice into the system, and then it messes around, it tweaks it and everything else for like 4 hours, and then it's like, here it is. And at first I didn't think it sounded like me, but then it started growing on me. I don't know if it's because there's like different like models that it uses. It's very creepy. And 2 years from now, I don't know, man. I'm not going to believe anything. I'm not believing nothing in 2 years from now. It's going to be out of control. And is it true that the NFL is using the actual, like, they know where the ball's at just from like a sensor that's in the ball, or is it like overhead camera or something like that? Like they don't need the chains anymore?
Correct.
They are using kind of like an AI thing. I've only seen it a couple of times though.
You'd think that if they put a sensor in the ball, it would change the ball somehow. I mean, the way it spins or something. You know what I mean? It would throw something off.
You think. Yeah.
It's kind of like when the NBA tried to go to airless balls. Remember that?
Yes, that was a terrible idea. That didn't work out very well.
It's
so
like
stupid.
It's gonna go well, and then they went to a completely different ball for a little bit too, didn't they? They completely switched brands for a minute, and everyone was bricking everything. Like, what's going on? It's like because they switched balls after like decades of using the same ball.
I'm surprised it took them that long, because for at least the last few years since I started watching like Premier League and stuff, like they have like an offsides sensor, so they know exactly when somebody goes offsides. Like you could be like a half-inch offsides, and you won't, like, the refs won't be able to tell, but the sensor will catch it.
Are we talking about soccer right now? Are we talking about soccer?
Yeah. And the NFL was behind him on that.
Lineman.
Dude, what's wild about
it was crazy.
What's wild about them having a sensor to tell when someone's offsides is I don't even understand offsides. No one does. So how does the sensor even understand? Like literally no one knows what offsides in soccer is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like offsides.
We just watch, they call it, and we're like, I take his word for it. All right.
Yeah. All right. I agree with them 100%.
Guess who's offsides? There's no physical line, and this rule has never been explained in a way that makes sense to me.
Yeah. I've never understood in hockey. I've never understood the icing thing. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why we don't play fantasy hockey, dude, because none of it makes sense.
Well, I tried that once. It's just like basketball. You got to pay attention too much. And baseball is even worse. It's like if you don't pay attention for a day, man, good luck on the season.
So Justin, you weren't part of that league, dude. We started a fantasy basketball league one year, and it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. It's like you gotta like pay attention to it like every freaking day. You're like moving guys in and out, dude. It was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
I'll never do it again.
Football's, it's just the structure is so easy. Just the weekly schedule, and just do it.
Yeah,
you know, there's a day for everything. Picking guys up, setting your lineups, and it just works so much better for.
Yeah, just like 2 nights ago when I get the sleeper thing, and it's like Bo Nix has scored a touchdown or whatever, and I'm like, I thought it was Thursday. I'm like making sure that my guys are in. It's like I only got one job. It's easy, and I still mess it up.
Yeah. I was actually in one fantasy basketball league way back in the day, and we did like categories. So it would be like steals. You would get a point for winning that week, right? So I didn't pay attention until January to my roster, and I was like, "Watch me make the playoffs." I ended up winning every week, squeaked into the playoffs, and made it to the championship game. But it was just moving things, like dropping a player because he's going to have an easy week with steals or rebounds. So I drop certain guys and then plug them in, and once you pay attention though, you can really control it if you want in basketball. But
he's Shebass is one of those fantasy leprechauns. That's what I'm going to call it. A guy who's lucky every year, no matter what.
No skill.
Fantasy leprechaun. That's going to be the new drop.
Cory, we are coining that. I don't know. I've not heard that ever before.
That's us, dude. He's a fantasy leprechaun for sure.
Look at my pot of gold.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's like, I gotta wear me dress, and then all of a sudden he wins with like, because some guy leaves a guy in IR, and Dustin has a stupid rule where you get an automatic loss. I'm voting that out this year. I'm gonna be standing there in a dress, and I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna raise a vote, dude. We need to get rid of that rule.
I remember.
I know
Yeah,
my
go ahead.
leagues are just over the top with like everybody throw, because I like to be diplomatic about it, so everybody has a voice and throw out things for rule. Do your guys' leagues are they the same way, or is it like a dictatorship with
It's a
the
dictatorship, 100%, dude. Dustin runs the entire thing. There's no vote. There's no nothing.
Oh.
I mean, literally, like someone could do something like completely like egregious, like hey, Dustin, I forgot to set my lineup, and it's Thursday, and the game's already on. And if Dustin changes it and like puts a guy in, like people say nothing. They're like, the king has spoken. It's just odd. It's completely different than your leagues, actually. And he tried to be like you, like it's so like right when like the end of summer starts coming up, and you start sending out all these texts like, hey, vote A for this and B for that. You'll notice Dustin pop in right behind you and start doing the same thing. But it's just a completely different response. Like it's just like it's like one thing or whatever. But he waits for that first initial one to come out from you, and then he starts popping in the other leagues and doing that. Well,
he probably tries to haul it out as long as possible, and he's like, all right, I guess it's that time of year. It's not a fun part of the gig, especially because I have to kind of organize it all, and everybody, they really get annoyed with the votes, but I know they like to have a voice. If they've got something they really want to change, like you're talking about right now, that automatic loss for an illegal lineup. We voted that out a while ago.
So one thing I hate about all the leagues that you're commissioner in is the whole like after waivers have run, you got to wait another day to pick anyone up, unless it's like 5 seconds before the game, and then you can just pick up whoever you want.
Yeah.
I wish that it was like that all the time, so it wasn't like a mad dash. Like whoever sets their alarm and gets up the earliest can freaking pick up a guy. I don't know, what time does it open up again?
I think it's 9 or something.
It's not very early, but still, it's like
8 or 9. Yeah.
So it's like you'll be like, looking to be like, oh, my entire team is hurt and unbuy, so I'm gonna set my lineup, but wait, I can't, because I got to wait 24-hour waiting period before I can put these guys in. And if you're like me, then 24 hours passes, and then you don't even go back in there and set them. So they're sitting on your bench.
If you're like you don't look at your lineup the whole week, and then of course it's Sunday that you have to rush, but you kind of plan ahead starting Tuesday, and you can have that covered.
I know, but if you plan ahead and like it's a Tuesday or whatever, and you go, okay, or whatever, it's a Wednesday, waivers have run, you're like, oh man, I still got a couple more spots I got to fill. You can now drop them, replace the guys, and then you don't have to look at your lineup for a couple days, right? But if you do it the way that we have it set up, you got to then go back in the next day, see if you got the guy. If you didn't, you got to request another guy. Then you got to wait another 24-hour period to see if he clears again. I'm voting that shit out of our leagues next year.
We've tried.
I can't get any traction, dude. I can't get no one to back me on any vote. I guess it could be an asshole to everyone.
Well, we've tried it, and then I think the thing that people complain about it on that, it turns that Sunday kind of like whoever wakes up the earliest gets the guy, turns that into every day. If you just happen to be somebody who's constantly he's got their phone in their hand looking at Twitter all day long, and as soon as news comes out, they go pick the guy up.
You subscribe Dustin.
Dude, he's all like, I just got the alert on my phone like somebody's gonna be out, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go pick this guy up. Dustin already did it.
Gone, yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because he works in like a warehouse or a manufacturing place or something. But he's got like this job where he just like sits at a desk all day. But then there's a couple other dudes in the league that work like on like a physical manual labor job. So they're probably like getting these alerts like in their headphones. It's like so-and-so, Jaden Daniels breaks arm or whatever. And then they're probably like panicking, like trying to pick up Mariota, and Dustin's just sitting there laughing at them as he's like sitting at a desk, and he's just like picking these guys up. He's watching them.
And then he's dropping them so you can't pick them up till the following week.
Yeah, and then he waits right before the freaking kickoff, and he drops them at 11:59.
Yeah,
just so they're sitting there racking up points on waivers, and then you don't have them.
That's the thing that I would love to vote out, is the whole picking up multiple guys just to block your opponent. But I guess it's a strategy thing.
It's a strategy.
It'd be really hard. it'd be really hard to police too. It's like hip drop tackles, like
Well,
you see them all the time, but they never get called.
Well, and it's not like there's no cost to it, right? Because you have to get rid of other guys to do it, right? So,
sure. Yeah.
So Dustin, and I love it because he's not on the podcast, so we can just banter and talk trash about him the entire time. But what he likes to do is he likes to really condense his team, like starting right about now in the season. He'll try to make his mediocre guys like one stud, so then he has all these extra roster spots. So then he spends the whole rest of the year blocking you because he doesn't, he trades like two 10-point guys for an 18-point guy every week and then just starts blocking you. Now he's an extra roster spot. Now he has every QB in the league. He has backup
I sure wouldn't
QBs.
mind doing that at any point in the league, just putting two guys together for a superstar, but you don't usually get a lot of takers for that. What I try to do now is, as much as it is talked about, get your handcuffs, especially for playoff time, once buys start getting over, but not only your handcuffs, but the other guys that could potentially have a nice workload should the lead guy go down, like the Blake Corums of the world. You want to go get Blake Corum because he's starting to get some traction. And if Kyron Williams happens to go down in the next several weeks, you've got gold.
Yeah, I'm so desperate in the dress league that I almost picked up the Dolphins guy behind Zach Wilson because I'm like, when Tua gets benched, that's the guy that's going to start. And I'm like, how desperate am I? Like, I'm picking up third QBs on teams. Like, I'm not doing it.
This is in the dress league?
Yeah. I
feel that way in the motor line.
I got Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray. Yeah, I'm that way in the motor line too, but at least I have one QB in that league.
I have Dak, who's on a bye this week, and then Kyler was basically just lost his damn job. So I don't have a quarterback this week. I had to go pick up Davis Mills. So I might go the rest of the year with just one quarterback in a super flex league.
I thought I picked up a guy in that league too.
Is Mills still on the Texans?
Yeah.
Wow. I picked him up earlier this week because CJ Stroud got a concussion last week, and I'm like, maybe he won't clear. And he just so happens I got lucky this week alone. But I had such a amazing team. I still do, but I like my chances better when I had two starting quarterbacks.
Oh, yeah. So, in the dress league, not only are both of my QBs hurt and like my entire roster's hurt, but then the guys I still have are like Nico Collins, who doesn't have a QB now, throwing him to Davis Mills is the guy throwing him the rock. Maybe
that's what he needs.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. That'd be exciting if all of a sudden he turned it on.
Stroud is starting though, right?
Was that?
Stroud is starting this week, right?
No, he did. He's out. So I got lucky.
He is out. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Starts and sits.
Should we get into it, guys? I know I did the drop and then we started bantering. That's why we call it Fantasy Banter HQ to begin with. You know what I mean?
It happens.
But that's all right. That's we used the time that Dustin would have taken breathing heavily into the microphone, and we just bantered. So that's good. Let's start with Shebass here. I know that he's gonna really. Gosh, he gets every time I say his name. He looks down at his notepad, and I can just see the excitement on his face. Literally every single episode, he looks down I'm like Shebass, and I see his eyes turn down to his notepad, and he starts smiling. It's all right, bud. Let's start with running backs, man. We need to know who you think the people should start this week at running back.
The guy at running back this week that's gonna eat is going to be James Cook going up against that Miami defense. Miami's allowed 6 rushing touchdowns this season, so I just see that continuing this week against a Miami defense ranked 27th against running backs.
Well, if he's a cook, he's got to eat. Who do you got? Who do you got, Justin?
So I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm going with Jonathan Taylor. I know he's the top running back, but he didn't have a good week last week. I look to him to get back on track this week against Atlanta's 24th ranked defense against the run. They're also really good against the pass. So if the Colts are understanding the way that they need to go, it has to be through Jonathan Taylor and then use Daniel Jones as a supplement and kind of control the game with JT.
As you were explaining all that, it brought me back to a couple weeks ago when you really logically told me to not choose the Packers. You were just like, don't choose the Packers against the Carolina Panthers because this, and this. And then Dustin was like, you're safe, man. You're safe. Gosh. Listen to the wrong Austin that week. Let's go to running back sits. Shebas, who are the people sitting this week?
Oh, I'm going to sit Breece Hall going up against a Cleveland defense ranked 2 against running backs. They haven't allowed a touchdown since week 5. Jordan Madison, or Jordan Mason. Sorry, I'm combining two different positions there.
two different running backs, 2 different Viking running backs. One of old. Whenever a team does a massive fire sale like that, I always think the whole entire team sucks now, and I don't want to start any of their players in fantasy. But then they always end up having like one like really good week somewhere in there, I feel like. And so the Jets have completely fire sold. I don't even know why they're starting Justin Fields at this point. They might as well just, they might as well just see what they got in the other whoever else they got in their roster. Anyone.
What, Tyrod Taylor? I think everybody knows what Tyrod Taylor is.
Yeah. So who else is behind Tyrod?
That's a great question.
I don't even know who the third stringer is there.
That guy should warm up his arm right now.
Yeah.
and I'm a huge Justin Fields fan, by the way. I just think, I guess they paid him multi-year so they could start this entire thing over again next year. But it seems kind of once you trade Sauce, you're just it's time to rebuild at this point. I mean, that's what you want is you want a guy like you're rebuilding. And you get Sauce, and you're like, oh, this rebuild's going great. And now you trade Sauce, and it's like, all right, I'm 5 years out again.
Yeah, that was a shock. 2 first-round picks for him. That was kind of mind-blowing for a defensive back. But
yeah. Who do you guys your sit this week, Justin?
I'm going to go with Kamani Vidal. I know last week I said he's on an every other week pace, and last week was really a garbage week for him. But Pittsburgh's 9th against the run. Their defense is looking rejuvenated, but if they have a weak place, it's going to be against the pass. I looked for the Chargers to have more passing than rushing this week.
Basically, Dustin went from wanting to hold Vidal to then him being on the sit list and Dustin's loser list last week. So he's on Dustin's loser list last week, and he's gone right into your sit list. So yeah, he's fallen from he went from no one knows who he is to I want to hold him to I don't want to touch him. So it's weird.
Quite the fall from grace.
Yeah. Should we move on to wide receivers?
Sure.
I said that just so she has to look down at his paper and smile, and it worked.
It's so excited when you call on me, dude.
All right, let's go. Then let us know, man. Who's your start, the wide receiver?
All right. My start for wide receiver is going to be Jordan Addison going up against the Baltimore defense, which ranks 28th against wide receivers for fantasy. Weeks 2 through 6, they allowed 10 touchdowns to receivers. However, for the last 2 weeks, Chicago and I think it was Miami, they didn't get a touchdown against the Baltimore defense. So, but I think Jordan Addison will get a touchdown this weekend, especially with Jefferson drawing some of that defense and attention more towards his area.
I love it when quarterbacks go on like failed quarterbacks go on to be NFL analysts, and then they like break down a play, and it makes it makes you understand as like a fan like what is actually happening on the play. And actually Tony Romo's my favorite because he'll just tell you what the play is like after like they're lining up, and he's like, oh, he's like tells you what tells you what all their audibles mean as they're saying it. It's like if I'm the opposite team's like D coordinator, I'm just watching the broadcast because you got Romo just completely spilling the beans on the play, right? But I was listening to Orlovsky the other day, and he was talking about JJ McCarthy and how JJ McCarthy, as long as his first read is open, he's going to look like a superstar. It's not until he has to go to a second or third read to where he just completely like loses it and breaks down and starts scrambling and does something stupid. So, and he specifically mentioned that play to Addison where he just dropped it right in the bucket, and Addison dropped it. So hopefully Addison catches that this game because I have to put him in my lineup, one of my leagues. So he will be.
JJ's already better than Geno Smith. Geno Smith's the number one that's always open right away, and he won't throw him the ball.
No, he will not. No, he
seems like a smart decision.
I think Geno Smith was like, dude, the best job in the league is the backup QB position, and I had that, and I let it squander. I squandered it. Now I got to start every game, get my ass kicked. He's like, I got to get back behind a guy.
He looked rough on Thursday night after got hit a few times. Man, going into that tent and coming back out, and it's like,
yeah, he was gimping around.
Pete, just sit him. Don't put him back out there, dude.
He loves him. Who do you got wide receiver start this week, Justin?
I'm going to go Darius Slayton. He had 7 targets last week. He's kind of ramping back up after an injury earlier season, and he's playing Chicago. So if you want to get back on track or if you want to put up some solid points, you go against Chicago.
Yeah, and I would like for them to beat Chicago as well, which I think they just may. I did say that last week as well. I was wrong. Let's go on the sits. Shebass, wide receiver sit.
This guy is going up against that Carolina defense, and he will have J.C. Horn on him. It's going to be Chris Olave. So the Carolina defense has allowed 1 touchdown to wide receivers over the last 4 games. I think that's going to – well, I don't think there's going to be a touchdown here in this game.
You don't think Spencer Rattler's going to break that streak?
No. 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 That Carolina defense is tough, man, dude. Their DBs, they're solid in Carolina. So it's going to be a rough day for New Orleans Saints fans.
Who else is it going to be a rough day for, Justin?
I'm going to go out on a limb here since he scored 3 touchdowns last week and go Drake London. He's going against Sauce, who looks to prove his worth in that trade, giving up two first rounders. I think he's going to lock down on him and temper your expectations for London this week.
Yeah, I was more shocked that Michael Penix threw 3 touchdown passes than Drake catching 3 touchdown passes. I was like, what?
Agreed.
So I don't think that was happening again this season, no matter what. So yeah, Sauce is definitely going to stop that from even thinking about happening. One thing I noticed about Shebass is that when we do the starts, he smiles. When we do the sits, he kind of like frowns. It's kind of like an opposite effect. It's like he's sad for the player.
It's negative. It's negative, right? Who likes a negative?
Human emoji.
Yeah. It's like, who do you got for your start? And he's like, and then you're like, who do you got for your sits? And he's just like, well, yeah, it's fantastic.
It's so negative. We need more positivity in this podcast. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. A lot of banter, a lot of negativity, but sometimes fantasy can be like that. Did you guys get my text this morning of what my season's been like?
No. Did you text?
It was the monk, and he was just getting kicked in the nuts repeatedly, and every time he gets kicked in the nuts, it rattles off like another guy's name. It's like Jaden Daniels, Kyler Murray. That's actually my season.
That's rough.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm actually on the greatest fantasy football podcast on the planet, and I'm sitting right across from you guys while you guys tell me who to start and sit, and I still can't seem to win while you guys continually win. So I mean, that's never good. I'm starting to think you guys are trying to throw me off specifically. Like you guys are looking at my roster, and you're like, yeah,
it's probably we're telling you all the starts, and you're like looking at your roster, going, shit, I don't have any of these guys. So
it tends to happen when you have a roster full of scrubs.
And then we get to sits, and I'm like, I have all these guys.
All of them, yeah, damn it. That guy too.
Shebass is like frowning as he's giving the news about who not to play. And I'm like, that's my starting running back.
Dude, that's legit what happens to me with running backs because I go heavy on receivers and then I forget about the running back position and then I'm stuck with these scrubs.
Yeah, as long as you're second to last, you're good. Let's move on to tight end, man. Let's move on to tight end. Who you starting at tight end, Shebass?
I'm gonna go with Mark Andrews, going up against that Vikings defense. It sucks. I know you got tickets to the game. You're gonna be like, Shebass was right. Mark Andrews is having a heck of a day. I think he's gonna eat this weekend.
I'm gonna have a beer in one hand and glizzy in the other, and I'm gonna be like, freaking Shebass, he nailed it. He nailed it again.
you're going to be like, one touchdown, you're going to smash at that glizzy. And then the other touchdown, you're going to be like, oh, my beer.
But
It's all gone. What's happening?
Who you got, Justin?
I'll go with Kyle Pitts. Penix is not going to be able to go to Drake London at all. So Kyle Pitts is going to be open and he'll get a handful of receptions.
Those are some unique choices. The dude who's trying to get Kittle off me actually has had Andrews this entire time, and now he doesn't feel the need for Kittle anymore because now he thinks Andrews is better than Kittle. Yeah. And he may be right.
He had a good week last week, so
yeah,
he did.
Maybe he's back.
I'm just trying to get a QB. I'm like trying to trade Kittle for any QB. Like it doesn't matter as long as you're like taking snaps as a starter. And I can't seem to get one. I've done that in multiple leagues. Just try to get a QB. So let's rattle off. Should we rattle off my roster, or should we just say the sits? Because I'm sure they're the same thing. Shebass, tight end sits.
Tight end sits. I got this guy from Indianapolis. His name is Tyler Warren. I'm sitting him this week going up against that Atlanta defense, which is one against tight ends. Atlanta has only allowed one passing touchdown one receiving touchdown to a tight end all year this year. So it's not looking good for him this weekend. If he gets a touchdown, kudos to him, but I don't think that's going to happen against that Atlanta defense.
I'm really curious to see if the Colts if they just had a bad week or if they've just like returned to earth.
Well, for Tyler Warren, it's been 2 weeks in a row under 10 PPR points. So hopefully that's not a trend, but I'm with you, Shebass, on sitting him this week. Yeah,
it's going to be a tough week. I think it's going to happen, but probably after this week, I think he bounces back. But I mean, he's just had a bad run at defenses. Yep. So
does anybody else notice the trend with Danny Dimes is good when he has the number one running back in the league, and he's bad when he doesn't have the number one running back in the league, right? He was good with Saquon too. As soon as they traded Saquon, he sucked. So
right,
let's keep an eye on them Colts because if anything
definitely takes that pressure off.
I think it's over for Danny Dimes as well. Unfortunately,
well, hopefully the coaching staff understands that as well. The offense has to be funneled through Jonathan Taylor and then supplement with Danny Dimes.
Yeah, Danny Dimes, Indiana Jones. Where are we at? We are on the tight end sits for Justin.
There weren't too many other glaring sits. I'll go with Zach Ertz simply because he does not have Jaden Daniels. And the same reasoning. Last week he was a start because he had Jaden Daniels back, and he seems to get more targets with Daniels than he does Mariota. And so now we're back to good old Marcus, and I don't think he's going to get a lot of looks.
I was just looking at still pictures of Jaden Daniels' arm, and I was just like, this doesn't look very good. This doesn't look like something that you're gonna play again this season. If this is his other arm, I'm not sure he'd ever play again.
Yeah. Well, they came out this week and said they're not putting him on IR. So
he didn't actually even tear anything, I guess, which is just crazy. Wild. What are you made out of?
Yeah.
He's got it's that bump on that elbow.
Yeah.
Remember that little bone that comes out?
He's got that one weird hook on his elbow, and it kept him alive.
Yeah, saved his arm.
Yeah, it latched onto the other part of the bone. I was like, not today, buddy.
Right. You're not going over that far. You're going to dislocate a little bit, but not that much.
Like, I think a leg might be more important than a non-throwing arm in football. But
might be.
You don't see arms do that. Like, you see legs do that. You don't see arms do that. Like, just straight up go the wrong way.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, that was ugly.
It kind of feels like we should transition to quarterbacks now after having talked about that. And so,
all right.
Yeah. Shebass, it's okay, man. You don't have to fight the smile, man. You don't have to fight it, dude. He's got his QB
memorized. Practice starts.
He's got his QB. Exactly. He's got his QB memorized. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, so this guy was made an appearance in a Super Bowl with the LA Rams, but no, not Matt Stafford. No, Jared Goff. Gonna go with Jared Goff. Going up against that Washington defense, ranked 30th against quarterbacks. So I don't know, the NFC East, God, that division just sucks with defense. They've allowed 10 passing touchdowns the last 4 games. So I think that's going to continue, and Jared Goff is going to have a splendid day.
And he's got to be pissed off. Now,
oh, yeah.
I will say one of the reasons why the Lions lost, is Jared Goff looked like Jared Goff of old last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he just didn't look like anything special. There's times where we're watching the Lions play, and I'm just like, the dude doesn't miss a throw. Like, it's impossible to beat this team. And last week, it didn't look like that. It looked like he couldn't make a throw. So I'm hoping Shebass is strong, and I'm hoping that they lose to Marcus Mariota and the Commanders. Who do you got, Justin?
I'll go with Jackson Dart, playing against Chicago last week. Flacco put up 470 yards. I see this game as having potential to be kind of a shootout. I kind of hope it does. Looks like a fun type game, but I think he's going to have a pretty solid game.
Yeah, I mean, Flacco put up 450 against, what is 470?
470, yeah.
Yeah. Jackson Dart should be able to brush one in, too.
Yeah.
So I agree with that one. Honestly, man, I love all these QBs you guys are talking about. Too bad I don't have any of them. Let's talk about the ones I do have. Shebass, let's get to your sits.
Oh, you ready for this one? Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he's on my list too.
I got him going up against that Atlanta defense. It's just going to be a tough day for Indianapolis. Although I think they're going to end up winning the game. It's going to be a long, tough game coming off a 3 interception game, and I think it's just going to be continuing this week against that Atlanta defense. So,
what do you guys think about seeing the Colts and the Patriots at the top of the AFC again, like old times?
Yeah.
Do you think it's going to end this way? The season's going to end this way?
I think so. Yeah. Very nostalgic.
Yeah.
No, they're going to make it in the playoffs, but they're going to be one of them will be. They might make it to that second round, but I don't know. I don't see them making the championship.
Well, Buffalo's definitely going to at some point have to pass up the Patriots, at least prior to the playoffs. Don't you think? They got to win the division.
Oh yeah.
So, Kansas City, I don't know.
Buffalo, yeah.
Kansas City, I don't know about the regular season record, but
right now I think they would be on the outside looking in. They need to make up some ground to even squeak into the playoffs, but kind of just the pattern goes. Those upstart teams, they always make the playoffs, have a great regular season, but then they get disappointed in the first or second round. It takes them a year or two to really gain some steam and get deep into the playoffs. They need that. They need that experience in the playoffs. So that's kind of how I view those guys.
Yeah. Who do you guys sit this week, Justin?
This has got to be the easiest call of the week for me. Trevor Lawrence is my sit. Every week that Houston plays somebody, especially at home, I'm typically going to pick the quarterback that's playing against them. So, and Brian Thomas Jr., not that he's having a lights out season, but he's out this week with his high ankle sprain. So not a lot of weapons for Trevor to throw to, and playing that defense, he's in for a rough week.
I want to talk about the 49ers and what do you guys think about their QB situation going on over there? They just paid Purdy. Mac Jones is a better QB than Purdy, I think. He was better coming out of college. He's performed at a higher level this season. I think that the system made Purdy, and I think Mac Jones is better at the system than Purdy. What do you do? What do you do if you're them? You just go, well, we already paid Purdy, and he's our guy. He's the story. He's the face. We're keeping him. Or do you go, wow, we could actually sign Mac Jones for a lot less. We could dump Purdy. We could have him start out, have some good games in there, and we could maybe next season potentially shop him around. I know it sounds ridiculous. I don't know from a business standpoint or salary cap standpoint if they're going to have the luxury to make that call. They cut Purdy, cut losses on Purdy. They're eating a bunch of salary cap, and they might not be able to put a team around. Yeah, but
Mac Jones.
What if you trade Purdy?
If there's a trade market, that's a potential. But I mean, as far as talent goes, the way I see it, I think that there's a lot of recency bias here. There's been multiple seasons where Purdy was beyond adequate. The reason why he got a good salary this season, the game that he came back from injury, I noticed, I even said on this podcast, it looked like all of his throws were high. It looked like he hadn't come back fully from his injury. And then it came out after the fact that he had a toe injury, which caused him not to be able to plant his foot, and then his release was at an awkward angle. So I still think Purdy has the skill. He needs to just come back fully healthy. I mean, as far as Mac Jones, I think he's a decent quarterback. I don't know if he's somebody you throw everything away for.
I just wonder if they're both the same quarterback. I mean, it seems like Mac Jones had more pedigree coming out. He looked good while he's in. He looked good with the Patriots that first season. He looked really good with the Patriots that first season. I mean, Belichick kind of ruined him, right? And he didn't look bad for the Jags either. I don't know. I think Mac Jones is the next slinging Sam Darnold story, I think.
You think so? You think he's going to come here to Minnesota?
Maybe. I can see that.
Yeah. He's got that competitive edge to him. I mean, he's always had that where he'll run you over if you're in front of him. He's going to do whatever he can to win a game. So,
and
I don't disagree with the fact that you said they're almost the same quarterback. I think that their level is pretty equal. I think so. Whatever they can get done on a business angle is the way that they're going to have to go with it.
Yep, agreed.
So Purdy comes back this week. They lose. They say Purdy's toe still hurts. They put Mac Jones in. They start winning again. I mean, this is what's playing out in my head. You know.
Well, you're going to have to copy and paste to next week because they've already ruled out. They said Mac Jones is starting again.
Oh, really?
They said Purdy might be active, but they're giving him another week before he gets the start.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I dropped Mac Jones last week, and the guy that has Purdy picked him up, and I was instantly irate. But because I need
if it's that toe issue, and it's been an issue with his accuracy because of that injury. I mean, you definitely don't want to rush him back because you don't want him messing up his mechanics and because of that, right?
Yeah,
because you rushed him back. So I mean, just like a baseball player, you know, they're hitting home runs all season. They go into the home run derby and they're trying to just crush everything out of there. And then the rest of the season they suck because they were prepping for that home run derby, which you can't hit that way in an actual baseball game. So, but yeah, you just don't want to mess up those mechanics, and it's easy to do quickly.
All right. Well, Brock Purdy it is. Just throwing out there. Just wanted to see where you guys thought about this one.